why now? Why skills? So this is a question that we want to help answer for you because certainly lots of companies, many of you on this call today are interested in skills and trying to build your skills strategies. So why are so many companies getting interested in this? And if you start with some classic external consultancy research, this one was done by Deloitte in 2022, you can see that actually most of us have been attracted towards skills-based organizations because of the promises, the impact that it can deliver for us as an organization, both in terms of the employee experience, but ultimately in terms of our business effectiveness. And that ranges from what you can see here through that more skills-based organizations have higher performers, more likely to have a reputation for a great place to learn and develop, more likely to have a positive workforce experience. All of these indicate that companies that are going down this route have more success in terms of the employee experience and have reaped certain benefits from it. And undoubtedly, the chief experience officers, as you can see from this Accenture data, is that 9 out of 10 chief experience officers are developing the workforce as their number one challenge. So this is translating into a lot of upskilling and the need for upskilling across different organizations. However, the really strange thing here is that only 2 out of 10, when this research was done, say they were already shifting to being an increasingly skills-based in their people practices. So many people are looking at this, many organizations are looking at this, but not necessarily all have taken the step into doing it. But let's then consider why you should think about doing it. What are the benefits of a skills-based organization? And as I mentioned earlier, it is a little bit about improving both the business and employee experience. And how do you achieve that? Well, it means better planning. So a lot of us do headcount planning, but not many plan for skills, which naturally takes us into more of a strategic focus around skills. It supports the transformation of work to being more fluid, more agile. And there's certainly, as jobs change, as work changes more quickly, then we need to be more fluid and agile within our organizations. And we've had for a few years now the talk of things like the liquid workforce, and focusing on skills helps companies to achieve that. But creating visibility and clarity around the skills to succeed is super important for the employee experience, because it gives that what I would call visible simplicity to the employee, that each employees can see the same skills in all the different systems, in all the different processes, means that it's just a simpler way of working, perhaps a whole lot simpler than we were used to in typical competence frameworks of old. So that means that it encourages career mobility. People become aware of the transferable skills that make a difference in the organization. And that means that it's easier to identify the people for specific jobs as well. And it helps us understand, whether it be externally or internally, it becomes easier to identify. And it means that we can start to benchmark those jobs better for pay purposes as well. So this starts to grow benefits all the way through that employee experience. But some of these overall slides that talk about the very generic benefits are sometimes difficult to use to convince your executives, your line managers out there. So we also took this approach as well in trying to connect the business value to what we were doing in job and skills architecture, particularly. And this works, I think, for all things skills. And we talk about having a line of sight, from what is the business value right through to what are the performance improvements that you get that can be achieved, what are the changes in the ways of working required, and then what architecture improvements help those change of working.